A man was performing surgery on an eyeball. If successful, he would obtain an Ganpuku worm worth $1 billion, but his blind daughter accidentally opened the door, and the creature seized the chance to escape into the woods. The man rushed out to search for it, turning the entire mountain upside down, yet found nothing. Legend has it that the Ganpuku worm appears only once every 1,000 years. Whoever possesses it can see for 1,000 miles, glimpse the future, and even hold the power of life and death over others. But now, it was too late. Just as the man was about to give up, something extraordinary happened. His daughter, who had been blind her whole life, suddenly regained her sight. Overjoyed, she had no idea that her pupils had already turned a strange shade of purple. Over the next 2 days, her father taught her to recognize colors, and the two of them dreamed about the future ahead. As the girl gradually adjusted to her new sight, she found she could effortlessly see landscapes thousands of miles away. She predicted that her uncle would soon die in a sudden accident, and it came true. The villagers nearby began calling her a goddess, flocking to her for fortune-telling. She predicted that a man from the village would drown within a month. Strangely enough, even though he avoided every river and lake he could think of, he still ended up drowning in a shallow stream. After that, the villagers started keeping their distance. They believed that getting close to her would bring misfortune. This crushed the girl. She could predict the future with perfect accuracy, but she had no power to change it. In the end, she chose to cut herself off from the world entirely. Yet even with her eyes closed, she could still see the outside world. As long as she could see, she would involuntarily glimpse the fates of others, and there was nothing she could do about it. Then one day, her father left the house as usual. The girl saw his death. She felt helpless and heartbroken, but in the end, she couldn't bring herself to tell him the truth. A few days passed, and her father never came home. She used her farsight to search for him and eventually found his body at the foot of a cliff. After burying her father, she didn't return to the village. Instead, she became a wandering singer, until the day she met a mushisher named Ginkgo. Looking at him, she saw her own future. She foresaw that her eyeballs would fall out that very night, and when they did, the Ganpuku worms would go searching for a new host. To keep them from hurting anyone else, she begged Ginkgo to remove her eyes and bury them deep in the mountains, where no one would ever find them. That way, no one else would ever have to suffer the way she had. Ginkgo agreed. That night, her eyes began spinning uncontrollably, and then flew out of their sockets. Just as the Ganpuku worms were about to escape, Ginkgo sprang his trap and caught them both. The girl wept. She could finally live a normal life. Afterward, Ginkgo kept his promise and buried the two Ganpuku worms deep in the mountains. But not long after he left, a blind fox wandered to that very spot.